I wanted to talk about something that has come up on Reddit and social media. Um, and this is in regards to Smash Caps wanting to retire from writing. If you don't know Smash Caps, he's one of the probably the biggest writer on Smashboards. He manages the front page. Even if you do a simple search of articles written by Smash Caps or that have appeared on the front page, Smash Caps contributes a large amount of content to Smashboards. And unfortunately, he decided he wanted to retire. He wasn't, making, enough money, and which led to a Patreon and led to some people on social media to comment saying, "Well, if Smash Caps goes, this is like the worst thing that can happen to the community. We need Smash Caps." So, just to give a little bit of a background in that regards. So I just wanted to just talk about the state of content creation, some of the fundamental problems it has, and some solutions maybe, and what direction I really see Smash content going as Smash as a whole gets bigger. I feel that I have some things I could share about this topic based on my personal experiences writing for nearly 2 years now, managing SSBM rank, and some other things, and talking to people. I'm not going to reveal anything that I feel would be sensitive or super private, but I feel I could give my insight. So this is an issue that I've thought about for a while. It's like, how do people get paid? So we're starting to go into an age where a player like Armada could make in the high 5 figures. People like Mango are speculated to make in the low 6 figures. So some people say, well, we esports now, implying that there's a lot of money in Smash, which sadly there isn't. So, and what we wonder is, well, how do we continue to grow? How do we continue to leverage the good people that are volunteering their work, volunteering their time, so we enable them to continue to expand and do what they love? So this can include a TO like Juggle Guy. This can include streamers like Showdown Smash, Geeky Game Squad, or I forget their name off the top of my head, GGS in Europe, content creators, streamers, commentators, pool runners, you name it. And unfortunately, the way I see it is that there isn't really much money in Smash if you want to really go that route. And I can speak off of that from firsthand experience. Now, what has driven the community has been, the loyalty, the fierce idealism of grassroots, to the point where any mention of money gets kind of weird. If I were to, let's say, make a decent income on Melee Economy, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be really upset if Juggle Guy were to make a ludicrous amount of money off of running Big House. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would call him greedy, selfish. And so there's this weird community vibe that if you were to monetize to any sort of capacity, that you are seen as this money hungry, evil dude. Like, how dare you even consider taking advantage of the community, even if your product is an A+ thing that would make 10 times more money if you were in a non-Smash industry. So there's this weird vibe that goes on. And there's an illusion that everybody is making money, which is not the case. And if I were to talk from a content creation standpoint, I honestly don't think many people are making a sustainable living wage. And by content creation, I'm talking about making YouTube videos, blogging, writing articles, simply because the money isn't there. And if you look at Google ad revenue, first of all, is really pitiful. I used to run it on Melee Economy before I thought it was really ugly. I think I was making an average of $2 per 10,000 views, which is practically nothing. And so, from my personal standpoint, a lot of people wonder why I don't write the long-form articles that I used to. Some examples include looking at Mewtwo King and Mango's rivalry, looking at the stats behind it, and simply because there's no money in it. Those long-form articles can take me anywhere from 15 to 30 hours to fact-check, to look up, to flesh out, to find pictures, to find Giphy cats, anywhere from 15 to 30 hours, and I'd probably make at best $10 for my efforts there. Hardly minimum wage. And this is honestly why I have kind of switched where I put my focus in. people don't like long form articles. They don't like informative articles. They want something simple. People like BuzzFeed articles because those are clickbaity. They sell. So I could write something that is 10 times less the effort into some sort of clickbaity top 10 list of some sort, and that would make me 100 times more money than a long form article that takes me 10 times longer to write. So article writing actually has no revenue, and a lot of people say, well, why can't we just get a bunch of sponsors to like get involved? Like, why don't we just get all these people to come in? Well, fundamentally, if at the very base level, Smash articles don't make any money, why would a sponsor come in and invest in that and lose money for every dollar they invest? So that's why it's really hard to get the sponsor pool, because there really isn't much of an incentive for these outside companies to really sponsor, small sites, like, relatively speaking, smaller sites like Smashboards, when there's stuff like IGN, GameSpot, you name it. So any sponsors that quote unquote have a lot of money, they would have to do it from pretty much the goodness of their heart, and they have to really just love Smash to really invest into content creation and letting it survive. So it doesn't make money, and that's just the reality. And a lot of people think in the industry, like, well, just because I put in work, I deserve to be paid. And in an ideal state, I would totally agree. But let's say you want to write about, I don't know, a crappy game like Superman 64. And you're like, oh, you put in like the best work. You spend like 20 hours an article. They're like A+. Well, if no one cares about Superman 64, then why should you get paid? I mean, it makes total sense. And the reason why I just don't believe in long-form articles as well is that we look at stuff like Grantland.com, which is an offshoot of ESPN for physical sports, which has a significant amount more viewership than esports, let alone Smash. That site actually didn't have a profitable business plan, so it wasn't making money. It was just to continue to grow the ESPN brand, and to see that something as big as that is not really sustainable or profitable, and it requires outside funding to get in to keep it going, really just kind of makes me sad that I really don't think Smash can really survive on informative articles. A lot of people are like, oh, I really want informative articles, I want informative guides, I want the real good stuff, I don't want like memes, but frankly there isn't a big enough audience for that. And that's why when I look in the future of where Smash content is going, I look at League of Legends and I see the direction of what makes money in League, something that's significantly bigger than Smash. And if you look on their subreddit, it's highlight reels, it's kind of stupid memes, it's drama between top players, and Giphy Cats, odd shots. And those are the main things that will hit the front page. Those are the things that people will have enough attention span for. The stuff that, a Monte Cristo or a Kelsey Moser or a Fionn on Fire, those people who are more, who write more in-depth articles, they sign with the bigger websites that are willing to pay out of pocket for those, because they still get some viewership, but it's not something like you can make money off of solely. A lot of people suggest, well, why not write for Gold Per 10? I think Gold Per 10 is an interesting website. It has an interesting web-based model, or a revenue-based model, but it doesn't make money for Smash. It just simply, the viewership is not there. If you were to kind of look at my last 5 minutes, it's pretty much that the viewership's not there for quote-unquote good in-depth content. So as far as solutions go, I think that podcasts and YouTube is honestly the way to go. That's why I focus on Tafo Talks more than written pieces, because at least if in my head, like if I do a long form article that takes me 30 hours, if I get something wrong, people will put me on blast, and it really sucks, because it's in written form, held to a higher accountability, and it makes no money. But like when I do a Tafo Talk, it takes me like an hour. Like I might think about it in a car ride home, so it's like not like taking extra time, and like I actually make some revenue off of it. It's not like a killing. Like I probably make like $5 to $15 per video, but it's not nearly the amount of work. And it's actually encouraging. If I had a choice, it's like, oh, do I want to write this like 30-hour piece, or do I want to just talk about it online or on Twitch? So I think that's the way to go. I mean, I guess moving forward, I guess that's just the reality of the situation. Articles don't make money. And I think moving forward, if you want to see people like Smash Caps, like Cardano, like even myself to write, better articles or higher quality articles, or tell top players to write these articles, I think fundamentally the funding is going to have to come from the community. I don't really see the viewership ever reaching a point where an outside site will heavily invest in Smash in those regards. I could be wrong, and I might have to eat my words in 2 years. Maybe Smash gets big enough. I don't see outside sponsors like really, really interested in Melee on me. And I think Smashboards, they pay their writers, and it's out of the goodwill of Alpha Zelot. I don't think he makes a return on investment by any means, but he does it out of the goodness of his heart. So I guess the TLDR, Smash doesn't make enough revenue in terms of content creation for the most part, and fundamentally funding is going to have to come somewhere, and it probably has to be the community. So if people want people like Smash Caps to keep writing or producing content, I think that that has to come from the community, and that's my 2 cents on it.